How we doing out there? I am Servant. I am Pisces. I hope y'all had a wonderful day. I just shot one video earlier today and had a few things to take care of. But, I'm back with it again. I was thinking that, collective, all you good people out there, just to take a few minutes and turn wherever you're at in the grocery store or in the shower, whatever. Turn around and give the Father a good hello. He's just wanting to hear from you. Just a few seconds. And guess what? Your day's going to be even better. Or your night's going to be even better. So, I hope every one of you have a really good day and a really good night. I'm in the point of chosen ones. Tell you to be in it to win it. Well, stay in it to win it. I'm going to set up a website and should get it done by next week. I hope so. I should get it done by the 17th, right, right when the fire horse starts running. Okay, so understand where you're at. Okay, you've been spun up, spun down, falling backwards, been through the spin cycle, standing upright, and then you get poked, and then and then you fall back. Understand that those little fallback triggers happen. Okay, it's just gonna trigger you, but you haven't lost nothing. The disappointment that you felt good all day long, and then all of a sudden you get poked. Hey, I do the same thing. I get it too, but it's not to the point to understand that the Father's got you. Okay, it's not. That's just a place. After a while, I'm getting better and better and better every day. And that's the point, to shake off all that old excess dust. More or less stomp your feet at the door, rant your clothes. That's what it's about. But I've been reading quite a bit that always hits right on the chosen ones. But I'm going to go through Peor tonight. I just want you to understand that, you're loved beyond measure, okay? Understand what you're here for. I've got some stuff that are, when I jump up on the website, you'll be able to view it, and you'll see what I'm kind of doing. It's gonna be a hoo-yah. A little fun, actually. But anyhow, I want to get to all the wonderful people out there in the world. You got things going on in your life that's kind of weighing you down. Hey, it's just Jesus. Hey, Jesus, how you doing, man? I need a little help here, please. I'm stuck in this spin cycle and I can't get out. Well, take it to the Father. Because look here, I was just listening to a guy and he made a lot of sense. You sit there and fight these battles alone, but you really don't understand that you're not fighting that battle alone. You got to learn how to give it to the Father. Me, I was the world worst about it. I'm a fighter. That's what I do. Whatever it is, I chew it up and spit it out. But come to figure out, who had to rescue me, who had to pull me out of the pit, who had to do all these things for me, the Father and Jesus and a legion of angels. I can tell you that. But let me tell you something. Don't doubt it for a second. You made it this far, and guess what? He's going to pull you out by the shoestrings. And he'll drag you down the highway until he gets to where you're going. Okay? It's going to be a lot of stuff going on. And when I get everything up, I'll start getting these emails and stuff done. And we'll have a good conversation, is what we'll do. But all you good people out there, all your prayers are needed. They are needed drastically. And understand that, a lot of people, go Armageddon, end times. I've read a lot. I have books on all kinds of things like that. Uh, you got to understand that we're going to have to go through travail first. I say travail. It's trouble. I say travail because it's more biblical and it stays in tune more with everybody's understanding about it. And they go, "What was that?" That's just an attention getter. Is what it is. It's kind of like me saying, "Okay, I'll see you tomorrow night," and then leave you hanging. That's your social psychology skills at work out there. That's how everybody works. The narcissist, everybody works off something like that just to get you hung up. But understand that if Armageddon does happen, or if we do start going to war, or if we go bankrupt, or the riots take over, understand this. The understanding of where you stand in your life with the Father is going to make a lot of difference in what your actions and reactions are. You're going to help people that are starving to death, okay? You're going to help people that are hurt. They may be bad people, but that's not your call. If they're waving a gun around and a knife and everything else, yeah, it's definitely a time to go the other direction. But if somebody won't calm down, you can help them. You can't help them. You got to go on about your business. But understand, just help everybody you possibly can. And I'm sure that everybody wants to know that, oh, we've got this hideout spot or that hideout spot or whatever. If it's not underground, it's not a hideout spot. You got to remember, there's 8.6 billion people on this planet. And you take care of the U.S., I don't know how many people we got here. 3 billion maybe. Well, just take like Oklahoma City, for instance, here in Oklahoma. I live 45 miles away from it. Well, how long is it going to take for 3 days of food to dwindle away? Actually, I don't think they're carrying 3 days of food. I think they're only carrying about a day and a half, 2 days now. And by the time they start walking themselves down here, and then, you got probably 3 million lives there, population 3 billion probably, maybe. But they start heading towards the woods. Well, look, I know a few places where you can't get to, but the point being is that they're going to be everywhere. And you got to understand, these people don't know sick them from come here, okay? They don't know nothing. Now, they're going to have a gun, they're going to have a knife, or whatever they're going to have, but they're going to be starving to death, okay? One of the upper elites had said earlier today that everything will be taken care of, We got it under control because I think we're just doing the stopping checks. And then plus, we're not having babies anymore. So we're waiting for the population to go down. So understand what's going on. And what kind of stuff that you're digesting at this time. And the thing about it is that you understand that their goal is depopulation, even if it has to be war. Now, it's going to be a pretty sad day. Is what it is. Pretty sad. People can't even trust their own people. I mean, their own governments or anything else. You can stay away as long as you can hold, but when you got to go, you got to go. So where's everybody going to go? In a rabbit hole somewhere? That's the point. The point of your community. The point of being of service to others. If y'all don't have some kind of understanding about if something does like that happen, you need to bring it up at the next basketball game. You know what I'm saying? Just go in there and just interrupt everybody. Just go, let me have that mic. Let me ask y'all people something. What would happen if, we had war and we had famine hit? How are we all going to take care of ourselves? That's a good start. They're going to be shocked. They're going to say, wow, that was something. But guess what? You just started the conversation. So understand that being bold, Look here. The Father made you bold, okay? All you got to do is just step up, and let your gums flap. But understand that, you know, the point of all these things going on is really no concern until the final blow up. And when the final blow up happens, are you prepared? Have you got a few things done? Have you got a few things stuck back? Have you got, you know, way to take care of your parents and your grandparents? Probably don't. Most people out here are just still going around trying to figure out day to day life. Well, it's simple enough to go to work, collect a paycheck, and do what you got to do. It's another thing to take on 2 or 3 more jobs on top of that. And I understand that very well. I took care of my mother, several times in my life. I had to quit 2 jobs, 3 jobs. I quit 3 jobs to be with her in the hospital a couple of different times. And then whenever she got old where she couldn't take care of herself, I had to give it all up for her. And I did. But you know what? That's what we're supposed to do. That is our calling to do that. Sure, you can stuff them in a nursing home and, not be around nobody and not have anybody or not have anything. How would you feel about that? Kind of hurts, don't it? Well, understand that everybody has their just due. And what you do in good, what you do in kindness, what you do out of your heart is given back to you tenfold. All the gifts and blessings that you're putting in front of yourself, that's part of your gifts and blessings. Can you imagine? Just think of this. Just your kids or your grandkids or anybody that's around it, do they know really how to bury you? Oh, what do they even think about it? Throw them in the pig pen, whatever it takes. No, they have no clue. So understand that these important things at the last time, at the last hours and the last minutes, these things ring your head and you go, oh, okay. Well, I don't know who's going to do it, but I'm not going to worry about it after that. But understand that all these things that you have questions popping up in your head and all these things are making you back up and reverse. And understand the Father's got all this. He's got you. Just keep moving forward. Move forward. Always forward. You'll back up. You'll get hit. That's armor. Not literally hit, but, that's armor. So understand where you stand with the Father, understand where you stand with your community, understand where you stand with your parents and everybody else, friends and like minds. And there's not everybody going to be like minds. Like me, I don't have any like minds. I got one mind, one track mind right now. But this point of just understanding that you're the most wonderful children of God that He has ever made, okay? And every one of you are on His heart. And He just needs a few minutes of your time. Few minutes. Actually seconds. 3,600 something seconds. That's not bad. Drag it out, drag it in. But anyways, He needs your help with the prayers. These prayers are like power, I guess. I would say that, it just makes the Father happy. Guess what? If you make the Father happy, I'm sure that everything's glowing. But the time that you spend with Him, the downloads that you get, the path that He puts you on, and your gifts and blessings, and the gifts that you have, natural gifts that haven't been brung out yet, hey, you'll be so shot up, like I said, they'll have to get a straitjacket to put you in. But anyways, collective prayers, chosen ones, stay in it to win it. I read some other stuff about that too. But anyways, Peor. Which in Hebrews, Peor means opening. The name given to the mountain in Moab, to the top of which King Balak led Balaam, that he might see and curse Israel. It was a high peak near the town of Peor, opposite the valley in which Israel camped. Peor is used 4 times as a contraction for Baal Peor. And as we read through it, it's actually kind of touches base on just a little bit of everything that I always talk about. I'll start at 20. Behold, I have received commandment to bless, and he hath blessed, and I cannot reverse it. He hath not beheld iniquity in Jacob, neither hath he seen perverseness in Israel. The Lord his God, the most high, righteous, and loved, is with him, and a sort of a king is among them. God, the most high, righteous, and loved, brought them out of Egypt. He hath as it were the strength of a unicorn. Surely there is no enchantment. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is any divination against Israel. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob of Israel, what hath God, the most high, righteous, and loved, wrought? Behold, the people shall rise up as a great lion, and lift up himself as a young lion, and shall not lie down until he eat of the prey, and drink of the blood of the slain. And Balak said unto Balaam, neither curse them at all, nor bless them at all. But Balaam answered and said unto Balak, told not I thee, saying, all that the Lord speaketh, that I must do? And Balak said unto Balaam, come, I pray thee, I will bring thee unto another place. Peradventure it will please God, the most high, righteous, and love, that thou mayest curse me them from thence. And Balak brought Balaam unto the top of Peor, that looketh toward Jeshimon. And Balaam said unto Balak, build me here 7 altars, and prepare me here 7 bullocks and 7 rams. And Balak did, and Balaam had said, and offered a bullock and ram on every altar. Well, this is where it goes to. God brought, the most high, righteous, love, brought them out of Egypt. He hath as it was the strength of a unicorn. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel according to this time. It shall be said of Jacob of Israel, what hath God, the most high, righteous, and love, wrought? Well, it wasn't cursed at the time. And Balaam, he wanted to win a war, actually just go in and take over Israel. But I'm trying to remember, it was Balak's dad that was a sorcerer, and they had got that curse from the angel. But the angel told him not to curse Israel, because the father had favor with Jacob, and there was no treachery, fornication, and all that stuff going on in Israel at the time. So ended up that they all left out as far as the anointment of the children of Israel. And then they just understood that he was just trying to do it for capital gain, more or less, to take over everything. Well, understand in this world how it is today. Curses, anything that, it would be enchantments and divination, stamps, chains, hexes, curses, whatever it may be. But understand that all it takes is the start of one thing, one decree, one enchantment, one mischievous thing. And I worked the oil fields, pretty well off and on all my life too. And the construction field, heavy construction. And it's always a solid mouthful of filth, 24/7. And if you fall into that, you fall into that realm. Well, it's the same thing as in your cities and towns. When corruption keeps going with corruption and keeps it up and keeps it up and keeps it up, then it all becomes mischief inside of the whole city. Then it's a free for all, kind of like what happened here. There's nobody does anything anymore. I mean, literally, they don't do anything. They go eat, they go home. They go do this, they go home. There's no getting together at the park for barbecues. There's no, nothing, anymore. Because there's nothing to do except scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. And guess what you're learning there? They're 100 times more filth. But understand that the Father, He's trying to say something to everybody. And what He's trying to say is, look at what, He stopped from happening at Israel. And because Jacob had favor. Why did he have favor? Well, because he was faithful to the Lord. Faithful, 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 And the understanding of being faithful is that's to everybody. You're spending time with the Father, you spend time in the Word, and you're helping people and you're doing your thing. That's what the Father's looking for. But how much of it do you have? It's kind of like, yeah, I never did care much for hospice. I always call them where was it? Harry Potter, I think, said death dealers. And that's what I always thought they were. And that's kind of what I thought. And that's always what I thought. And that's kind of what they are, But understand that this is how this world has become. It's numb. It's numb to its own self. So somebody's got to tell somebody something that, hey, you need to spend time with the Father. Pull back to where He understands who you are. Because if not, you have the point of Armageddon. Was a doctor today talking, and he had talked about a type of virus that's in pork, that's like polio, that's killing children. And the only way that you get it is through the shot. Well, understand that this world right now is so corrupt. The people in the upper echelon are trying to digitalize everything so they can run away and hide. And they can hide behind algorithms that we can't. Once AI becomes sentient, it'll just send a drone. So understand that we people, are going to have, Terminator, the same kind of situation looks like it's headed the same way. And everybody's saying the same thing, but, understand that when they make you take digital ID, you'll be tracked 24/7, and you're still going to be tracked because, the way technology is now, it's hard to hide from anything. But, you take the situations that are coming and what they are, kind of like this in Israel, kind of like Israel today, kind of like what Iran and Palestine and Turkey and everybody that wants to do them in. Well, the point being is, why are you doing them in? Have they done something to you? Yeah, they have. They protected themselves and they pushed back where they had to. Is it the truth or is it a lie? Well, that's for the Father to figure out, not me. And the point being is helping everybody. I don't care who you are. If you're going to have help, you're going to have help. But point being, here in the United States, have we been infiltrated or have we not been infiltrated? Is this the reason why the roundup's going on, or is it because of money, mammon? These things and these questions have to be laid out there. You have to lay it all out there, and you have to get it in like-minded people. And you have to really realize in your like-minded people, not as what's on TV, not what everybody's saying, is by the biblical word. Okay, where are we standing today? Astrology, all kinds of things that people use to understand. Now, I'm not an astrologer. I don't do astrology. I understand astrology. But the point of it being is that, am I going to lay my eye teeth on it? No, I'm not. I'm just going to put myself right in front of the Lord, keep walking. He'll lead me. He'll either lead me to victory or he'll lead me to victory. Because I'm going to have two victories. I'm going to have victory here and I'm going to have victory up there. Because I'm going to keep following the Lord. Understand that whenever you're spending the time with him and you're getting your downloads and you're trying to do exactly what he says, let me tell you something, you're going to fall backwards. Don't give up. Don't put it down. The Father, he will help you. He will take care of you. He'll wrap you up in his arms, and it'll be just the most wonderful thing in the world you ever had in your life. You're going to think wrong. I do. Forgive me, Lord, that's not me. That's Satan. And it is. And he's going to poke at you as many times as he can to get you to turn your head one time. So he can go, see, I told you. See, I told you. That's all this is about. And just keeping your prayers, keeping your psalms, precepts, statutes, commandments, testimonies, and the world's going to be just perfect. Okay, Peor. And we're going to go to 25:18. Is that right? And 31:16. Now the name of the Israelite that was slain, even that was slain with the Midianitish woman, was Zimri, the son of Salah, a prince of the chief house among the Semonites. And the name of the Midianite's woman that was slain was Cosbi, the daughter of Zurah. He was head over a people in a chief house in Midian. And the Lord, the Most High Righteous Love, spake unto Moses, saying, Vex the Midianites, and smite them. For they vex you with their wiles within they have beguiled you in the matter in Peor, and in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of the prince of Midian, the sister was slain in the day of the plague for Peor's sake. So basically, you take the understanding that the Lord gives the okay to Moses to vex the Midianites and smite them. Everything always comes to the same thing with me. I always look at it as being, when the Lord has had enough, he's had enough. It's what it is, what it is. As we look out the window today, has he had enough? For me, I say that he's had enough. Compared to what I've seen, he's had enough. Because I had enough. There's nothing normal about this society at all. There's nothing normal about the government at all. There's nothing normal about being pushed against by the upper echelon or being cursed by decrees and whatever they can witchy-woo-haw up out of their little spell books, you know. And it's worked. It's turned everybody against everybody. And like I said, you know, if it wasn't for me finding Tomas, the Father he led me straight to Tomas. And then it went from one to another to another to another. And I go, you know, I think to myself, that's an abomination. You know, Tomas was a sheep herder. He got killed by a boar. And his wife was at the southeast gates, I believe. And she went to Tartarus and pulled him out. And the priest and Jesus walked to the gate, and the priest called it an abomination. Well, it went from there because it was Lilith. And then Lilith had Ashtoreth. And then Ashtoreth, Lilith didn't show up to the king twice. And he made a decree. Then that started strife because he decreed that man would be over the household and they would give reverence to their husband. And how many thousands of women probably got hurt, their feelings hurt over that? Well, the point being is that it was a law. It was a decree. Well, guess what? It was causing strife then. So as we go through time and everything kind of hides itself, and then all of a sudden it jumps all the way to our time. And then Ashtoreth, you know, which is turning women to men and men to women. The thing that it comes to my point is that we knew this all this time, or nobody's seen it all this time. It wasn't made to be revealed. We knew it. I mean, let me tell you something. There's some ingenious pastors out there, okay? I mean, some really smart cat daddies. Billy Graham was one of them, but he never mentioned this. You know, I don't know of anybody that ever did mention it and ever would say it. I don't know if they was afraid of witchy woo-haw or bringing it something else into the congregation to have a conversation about or whatever it was. But if they didn't understand it, and the point being is that they cut their nose off, spite their face. Did the Catholic bishops know? Probably. They probably knew all of it. They probably knew it all this time, ever since the Knights Templar, or, you know, the Masons. But, you know, we're just people. We're just supposedly normal people. And we try to live our life the best we can with the Father. And then when they take the Father away, then it's all corruption. Nothing but corruption. So the point of it, my theory, understanding, is that everybody has to come together in community, because you have to get together at the church. You have to bring these things up in these situations, because if you don't, you're just complacent to be lamb to the slaughter, or complacent to God. You know, God expects you to be upright and stand up and tell the truth. I don't know any other way except to tell the truth. If I see it and I read it, I'm going to call it just like it is. I'm not going to agree with everybody else's understanding. I'm not going to say, oh, okay. No. Whatever this word reads, and I check it 2 or 3 times over 2 or 3 different things, and it's going to be read the same way as it said in the book. So understand that every one of us has a job here with the Father. You can be lukewarm if you want to be. You really can. But I'm afraid you're just going to get to the gate. And you're going to be read the book of life, and guess what? Then you're going to be pulled off somewhere else. I hope not. I hope that's not the way it is. I hope there's forgiveness for everybody. Really, I do. I hope, you know, I don't want to see anybody go Tartarus, hell, the burning pit, whatever it may be. But anyhow, see where I'm at. And I said Numbers 18. Going to 31:16. No, I got you 35 minutes. Sorry. Got a long-winded night, huh? And Moses was wroth with the officer of the host, with the captains of thousands and captains over hundreds, which came for him from the battle. And Moses said unto them, Have ye saved all the women alive? Behold, these caused the children of Israel, through the counsel of Balaam, to commit trespasses against the Lord, the Most High, righteous and loved, in the matter of Peor. And there was a plague among the congregation of the Lord, the Most High, righteous and loved. Now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that hath known man by lying with him. But all the women and children that have not known a man by lying with them, keep alive for yourselves, and do ye abide without the camp 7 days. Whosoever hath killed any person, and whosoever hath touched any slain, purify both yourself and your captive. And the 3rd day, and of the 7th day, and purify all your remnant, and all that is made of skin, and all at work of goat's hair, and all the things that are made of wood. Well, you know, this is what you get into whenever you understand Armageddon, and you look at it from that point of view. The point that sin was a remnant that was carried. Today it's the same way. You know, you carry sin with you. You share whatever you share. You say that you've been with 15 or 20 women, or you've been with 15 or 20 men, or you've been doing this, that, and the other. Understand that you carry a remnant of every one of them. To understand that, I don't know anything about how to get rid of something like that. Purification, as far as all I know, is standing in the Word of the Father and asking forgiveness of all your sins. And, you know, Jesus died on the cross for all our sins. We were forgiven. And we're, you know, most people say past, pre, all sins, these sins, all sins. Well, look, all I know is sin is sin. If you sin, you repent, or you go, Father, forgive me my sins, you know, and stay with it. And I'm sure that He has forgiveness for that. But understand that as you're going through it and you're starting to get your downloads from Him, then understand that you are so wise about the sins. You know about them all, okay? You've been there, done that, and just think about how many people that you can save by what you know, okay? You know about all the things, the mischief that a person would do or not do. Well, back off of that, you know, and turn around and say, hey, let me explain something. I know where you're going, know where you're headed, know what you're going to do. Think you better stay home, don't you think? Well, what's going on? Yeah, you're going to go get in trouble. Understand that you have that wisdom to give. And moms, dads, look here. Our pasts are nothing. We just ask for forgiveness, and we get forgiveness. The thing about it is that it's the Father's judgment, not ours. And then your kids, your grandkids, look, the schools are corrupt, child services is corrupt, everything's corrupt. You know, and then you're trying to say, okay, well, I'm going to do, look, it's nothing but a money pit, and they just want to be right, okay? So, right, wrong, or indifferent, if you understand what they're going to do and understand what they're going to get into, stop them. You know, you have a right to stand up and take justice in your own hands. No, you're not. Well, I'm only go on in the bedroom and throw the biggest hissy fit you want to. But you're not going. You're not going to do these things until it gets straight. And the only way it gets straight is get them in church. And the remnant of the Father will take over. And they're going to go, when they leave there, they're going to go out and be young boys and young girls, but understand that the Father always comes back to them. He always comes back to them, and he goes, "Hey, better not do that. Hey, don't think I'd go there." Some of us, we didn't listen. We went there anyways, but we made it out by the skin of our teeth. But we learned the lesson. Anyhow, 40 minutes. Phew. Get thee up into the top of Pisgah, and lift up thine eyes westward and northward and southward and eastward, and behold, when thine eyes, with thine eyes, for thou shalt not go over to Jordan, over this Jordan, but charge Joshua, and encourage him and strengthen him, for he shall go over before these people, and he shall cause them to inherit the land which thou shalt see. So we abode in the valley over against Beth Peor. That's when Moses couldn't go over there because of the difference of smiting the rock. You know, whenever he hit the rock out of anger, that was against God. God said, touch the rock. And that's the thing that you got to understand what it is today. People don't look at it the same. Your anger means something, but it doesn't to the world today. Your mischief means something, but it doesn't to the world today, because that's just normal. It's all normal. They normalize so many things. As I got on this cell phone and started scrolling and seeing everything that's possibly known to man, it really doesn't serve me. The only way it serves me is to talk to you guys and to check a few things other than that. But you got to understand that voyeurism is the same thing as doing it, okay? So understand the sin is a sin, whether it's by the eyes or by the heart or however it is. But when you smite the rock, you might not get to go across the Jordan. So that was the whole idea of Peor. Peor is the one that showed you the curses that they wanted this sorcerer to do against Israel. And an angel come and spoke to him and said, no, that's not the way it's going to happen. He put a blessing on Israel. And it kept going from there to keep going to destroy something, wanting to destroy because of mammon, wanted to destroy because of greed. And then it kept on going to the point of what is anger, to the anger of point of sin, smiting a rock or touching a rock. You got to understand that the Father, he knows every small detail of every one of you. You are his children, and he just, he thinks it's, I imagine he shakes his head a lot, is probably what I think, that, to understand that you know better than to put your head in the wood chipper. You're better than to walk out in front of a semi-truck. You know these things. How come you don't know the other things, the little things? The small part of sin, the very smallest part of sin. And that's the whole thing. He's got his remnant floating now. He's touching everybody he can touch. And he wants to spend time with every one of you. So just spend some time with him. Understand what he's got going. And understand how much he loves you. Because you're the wonderful children of God. Every one of you are wonderful people. You just don't know what your gifts are. You don't know that you come from an ancient bloodline. All of your royalty. Every one of you. You're kings and queens, princes and princesses. And you really don't really understand that because you can't see it on you at this point in time. You spend the time with the Father and let him wake you up a little bit. Look, you'll understand that, oh my goodness. maybe that is true. I do have a gift. I have a gift of giving, or I have a gift of canning. I have a gift of all these, making pies. I have a gift of this, that, and the other. And you're giving that gift to everybody else. So understand that the Father, He's one smart cat, and He knows how to operate. Okay? Spend time with Him, and He'll love you up. I promise you, He'll love you up. But understand that you are wonderful people. You know, I love you. The Father loves you. You just got to really understand to take Him in your heart. Because when you take Him in, you're going to cry. Okay? So understand that you're going to cry a lot because you love the Father, and you love the Son, and you love the Holy Spirit. And all these things are working for you instead of working against you. And you think it's working against you because it's not working for you. Well, understand it does. It works for you. It just, you got to go through the rough and tumble, because the hardship is what makes the latter part of the hardship, the easy part, so loving. Okay? Because you felt the Father drag you right through all that and save you out of everything that you've got done. Anyways, I'll get off here. Got you at 46 minutes. Anyways, understand that the Father wants you. He wants all of you to come to heaven. So anybody needs to get saved, drag them down to the altar. Let God have a hold of them. Anyways, I'm Servant. I'm Pisces. Y'all have a good one.